Hey everybody, today we are learning about slope-intercept form, and we're going to try to make these quick. I hope you have these doodle notes in front of you. I know I've been told by some people, Michael Mochika, that these videos are rather boring, and I'm going to try to spice it up and go real fast. If you need to pause at any time, go for it, but make sure you get down all of these notes because you know we use these a lot. Just as a reminder to review, the slope is, and I'm going to write it over here, hopefully. There we go. The slope is, I'll make it red so you can see it. The slope is the rate of change. And I'll put in parentheses, rise over run. Okay. The y-intercept is the point where the line crosses the y-axis. Oh, sorry that's not bolder. Sorry. Okay, a formula for the equation of a line. Now I'm going to start writing just because it's quicker that way. Excuse my handwriting, you know it's really hard on this, okay? So a formula for the equation of a line using its slope and its y-intercept. Now you've heard us talk about this a lot. Y-intercept is the point at which the line crosses the y-axis. Hopefully your handwriting is better than mine. It cracks me up that I can't write very well. Okay, so now I want you to notice all of these things. We already know what M is. Amelia McNeil, you go ahead and doodle. I know you like to doodle on these notes. M is the slope. In these equations, it's the coefficient. Don't forget, slope means change in y over change in x. And you're thinking, why am I writing a triangle? A triangle is the symbol for delta in the Greek alphabet. And if you ever go to college, you will learn the Greek alphabet. Alpha, beta, delta, gamma, epsilon, zeta, eta. Yep, Mrs. Pearson and I know this alphabet. So that will always mean change. And you'll see it a lot. You see it in science class as well. So don't forget this next part. The B is the y-intercept. I'm going to abbreviate if that's okay. It's just too hard to write. Let me pause this. You should pause this too so you can... Uh-oh, where did my mouse go? Because I need to scroll down. Okay, hopefully you got the first part of the notes. On the bottom part, we're going to continue on. I just want to remind you a few things. Y is always going to be a variable in these problems. So is X. So why don't you write, I'm going to just write VAR. Hopefully you'll remember what that means. Oops, VAR. The B, do you remember what the B is? It stands alone. It doesn't change, so we call it the constant. This is a little bit of review. Constant. And the other name for the last thing we haven't named is, what do we call the number that's in front of the variable? It's the coefficient. Oof, okay, that was tough. Okay, so let's review a little bit about how to graph. We've graphed a couple of times with you from an equation. So the first thing I want to remind you is every single time we graph, we are going to start the point at the y-intercept. And I love graphing this way. It's so easy. Okay, it's doing some weird things. Okay, that's the y-intercept. So wherever the line crosses the y-axis, woohoo, that drawing is pretty bad, that's where we're going to start. The second step, from that point, count out the slope to find the next point. But, circle this part, be careful about positives and negatives. Remember, negatives go down and to the left, positives go up and to the right. And then connect the 2 points to connect. That's the word connect. My mouse was doing some weird things. Okay, so that's a C. Connect the 2 points to form a line. Don't forget arrows, always. These lines go on forever in both directions. Arrows. Okay, so now we're going to try graphing this line. So let's start at number 1. It says start by placing a point at the y-intercept. Where is my y-intercept? It's the constant at the end. In this case, it says +2. I hope you could see that that's a plus. So that means where is positive 2 on this y-axis? It's up here. You know what? Let me erase that off a line I drew. Okay, let me start again. Do it in blue. Okay, so we're starting at, was it positive 2? I think it was. Yes. Okay, so find 2 on the y-axis. It's up 1, 2. Here's my first point. Now it says count out the slope. Well, the slope in this case is -3. If you're having trouble understanding what that means, -3 is the same thing as -3/1. Now we know the rise and we know the run. Now the rise says -3, so that means we have to go down instead of up. So we're going to go count down. 1, 2, 3 over 1. So to the right 1. And really we only need these 2 points to make a line, but I always make at least 3 or 4 just because I want to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. So now I'm going to go down again 3. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Now we know it's a negative slope, and we know negative means nice, so it's going downhill left to right. Oh, I should have made this straight line. Okay, please make sure your line is straighter than mine. Not a good drawing. Also, we're going to get to the point where we graph more than one line on a graph, so we should always label the equation for the line. So in this case, we write y equals -3x plus 2. Please remember, too, that from this point, I could decide to move to the left 1 and up 3. 1, 2, 3, and there's my point. It's still part of the same place, same line. Oh, I've lost it again. Okay, my computer has frozen. There we go. So that you can see this a little bit better. I believe that we had a point 3. Let's see. Down 3 over 1. There we go. Now I've got it. Down 3 over 1. I'll leave that alone. Okay, I'll be editing this.